Barbell back squat is one of the most technical exercises you're going to find in the gym, but it's probably the best in terms of producing the results that you want to see in your legs. Amazing at building muscle in your quads, your glutes, and your hamstrings, as well as developing your core, because the weight can be really heavy and you gotta brace tight with your spine. There are many things that you gotta go through in order to ensure that you're doing your back squat properly. The first thing that you wanna make sure you're doing well is you're taking the barbell off and putting it back on the rack the right way. So when I'm teaching clients to do this, the first thing I tell them to do is to have their hands shoulder width apart on the bar. And then typically every bar that you use will have a marker as to where the middle of the bar is and where you want to place your neck. If you don't place your neck properly, then what you're going to find is that the barbell is lopsided, which can cause major issues amongst your joints if you're constantly doing your back squats that way. So I'm going to show you a couple repetitions of how I get clients to take the bar off of the rack. Hands shoulder width apart. I found my position right in the middle of the bar. I'm going to step under, placing the bar on my shoulders. I'm going to lift off, and then I'm ready for my squat. When I'm done, I walk the bar back, I hear the tap, and I place it down. One of the biggest mistakes I see people make in the gym when they're doing their back squats is they try and put the bar back lightly into the rack. And oftentimes what will happen when you do that is either you miss the rack or you end up causing lots and lots of strain to your neck. When you're done with your squats, make sure you tap, hit the squat rack, and then from there you know that you have the catch in order to drop the bar back down. In terms of form for my back squat, the same rules of any squat apply. You want to have your feet about shoulder width apart. You're going to point your toes out anywhere from 5 to 30 degrees depending on preference. I personally like about a 15-degree toe flare. From there, with the bar behind me, I'm going to drive my knees nice and wide, keeping my chest tall, and then from here, I push my knees and my feet out, driving my glutes and squeezing hard at the top. From a side angle view, we have the same thing. Feet shoulder width apart, toes flared out, bars on my back, drive my knees wide, chest stays tall, I get nice and low. From here, I push my knees out and drive my glutes forward for the squeeze. I'm going to show you a couple reps in front, and then I'll show you a couple reps from the back. So from in front, just a side note, you would never do your squats this way in a squat rack. You always want to be facing the rack when you do your squats. But I'm going to step under, I'm coming out, I'm going to drop down, knees wide, chest up, and I got a big squeeze, that's 1. Knees out, chest up, big squeeze, that's 2. From a back view, I'm going to have my hands shoulder width apart, step under, feet shoulder width apart, toes out a little bit, dropping down, knees wide, come up for the big squeeze. Dropping down, knees wide, and come up for the big squeeze. In terms of squat depth, it's going to be different for everyone. Go as deep as you're comfortable with, but the one thing I'm going to tell you is never sacrifice depth for weight. You always want to make sure no matter what weight you're using, your squat always looks the same. You're always getting as low as you were at 95 pounds as you do at 100 pounds as you do at 105.